Hello everyone, welcome back. So today we're going to be playing Aatrox, and we'll be facing off against the Elder Dragon adventure from the Titans of Runeterra campaign. I figured, since I'm in a loose streak, I might as well keep it going by playing Aatrox, a champion I don't feel is that great, at least not at 4 stars. And since I can get a reward by playing Aatrox here, might as well do it here. I'm not sure if this setup is even good on Aatrox, but the logic is the Troll King's Crown is going to help us close out the game. The Z-Drive prototype will help us roll into something that's actually going to help us carry the game, or carry us to victory. And Stalker's Blade might make it so we kill one of the opponent's units. Maybe. Hopefully. Domination, Arcane Empowerment, Shyvana Flow. Domination would be great, but I'm not sure we can even attack on the first turn, much less on the second turn. Well, I'm going to pick it up anyway, because rallying every turn is great. Well, we do have one thing going for us, is that our support champions are going to get Iceborne Gauntlets no matter what, so we can kind of use our support champions as a sort of spot removal for the Elder Dragon. But other than that, I'm not really seeing how we can manage to pull off a victory. For example, look at that unit. It's a 8-12. My largest unit I can summon. Oh, I didn't expect this to grow that much. I suppose it's from the little Titan, I guess. Even still, the opponent's unit is larger than mine. So I'm not really interested in trading. I think I want to wait till, yeah, the next turn, so that at the very least the health total on that thing goes down a bit. It's now trading into it is a bit better. I can go for Aatrox, but Aatrox just dies to that. So let's go for the Forsaken, for the equipment on the Forsaken Bakai. We discount the Aatrox. Yeah, let's drop on the Aatrox. Strikes into the Wounded White Flame. Then we can use the Forsaken Bakai to trade into one of the opponent's units. Or we can just discount my cards in hand, that's fine too. This deals 2 to something. Twice. Really? He must really like that Solaris Shield better. He's that willing to save it.
This is the mountain's final test.
Let's buff up the elusive unit. Let's summon this Steadfast Stelkin. We're going to equip it. We can't really kill any of the opponent's units, unfortunately. But we can soften them up a little bit. That way we can kill them with the Furious Wielder, at least that one. That still leaves the Arbiter of the Peak around, which is a very big problem. Do I go for the Warlander here? I guess. That way next turn I can attack with my Darkin. And this does cheapen the cost of my Darkins by a bit. Do I kill the opponent? Maybe. Depends on what he plays here. Let's do this. All of my units have overwhelm. So if he blocks with the wounded white flame, I can just do this. Make the Aatrox strike into it, which will make it die. And we do full damage to the opponent. That went a lot better than I thought it would have. Let's hope we can keep this train rolling. I'm definitely going to struggle against the later opponents though. Immortal Keeper of the Box, I guess. Stickier units are nice because we can go for equipments on them multiple times. The Darkened Spear, Combat Cook, Ornn. Ornn is not really that cheap. Jarvan. Mordekaiser. Darkins are good, right? So maybe this bucket is decent, even though we can't really play Ornn on the first turn. Yeah, let's go for Ornn. Might be good. He does synergize somewhat with equipments after all. Somewhat, it's the entire point of the champion. But doesn't change the fact that Ornn is not that great of a choice to begin with. Yeah, I'll keep this hand. We'll go Keeper, Staff first turn. That Bloom Wanderer. Could be worse. And the opponent immediately gets barrier, so I can't really get a clean hit off on the first turn. I'll just wait for the next turn. Let's see what he does. Another unit of barrier. If I play my Aatrox, it just dies here. So I guess we're going for the Combat Cook.
Not even I know what I'm cooking up.
This is going to reduce the cost of something in my hand. Aatrox. Ooh, Aatrox is extremely cheap now. Sure.
All that lives, I will end.
I can attack with the Dead Bloom Wanderer here. Yeah, let's buff up Dead Bloom Wanderer with this and then attack. The opponent blocks with the Stalking Broodmother. But I think that's better for me because now my
Weapons of war, then became them.
my Darkin stuff is growing a lot. There must be some sort of bug with Phage because the Phage is just continuously giving more stats to the stuff. But I'll take it. The way I'm passing up free stats. Let's go for that there. Remove that unit. Hopefully we get some decent hits here. That's fine. Just the bodies are decent enough. Just so I can attack with everything. Keep working on reducing the cost of cards in my hand. Maybe control the board a little bit.
The box bestows for a price.
Well, I've already played the Darkened Staff once. Okay, yeah, there's gotta be some bug. I don't remember the weapons just randomly getting multiple studded ladders. In that case, we should definitely use that bug as much as possible. Let's drop down the Norn. Actually, no, I want to copy this equipment specifically, so I need to do this before I play the Ornn. Now I can go for the Ornn. And Ornn is going to get a billion stats off of it. Let's try to use the bug to our advantage. I doubt we're going to be able to pull off a victory without it.
Here comes my molten friend.
And the opponent dies. I think this is going to be how most of the games are going to go. We're going to struggle a bunch during the first few turns, and then we just go for a large swing turn. But now that we know that every time we play the weapons, they get a buff. Kill all units except Darkened allies and equipped allies. It's a bit expensive, but it might be good at dealing with some troublesome boards. Do I want to cut a card? No, I want to go for the bottom path because the top path is a lot scarier. Wounded Prey, nope. Rush them down, nope. Afterlife Forbidden, nope. Adaptation is summoned champion granted to random keywords allies don't have, I guess. And then I'm definitely picking up the item for the Darkened Spear. And we go for the bottom path. There's no way I can deal with the large overwhelm units that the opponent summons on the other fight. So I have to go for this fight instead. Okay, this is a decent start. We can go Keeper of the Box into Darkened Staff. And we start ramping up the Darkened Staff's stats. Okay. That's a decent trade for me. At the very least, one of the scariest units on the opponent's board is gone. And I can go for the Darkened Ages here. And next turn we drop down something, probably the Ulming Cultist into the Darkened Staff. Maybe not. Because the opponent's summoning something very scary. Which makes me have to summon units to jump block. Let's place the stuff there. Okay, the opponent's only attacking with that one. Could be worse. I'm going to trade here, definitely. Every trade buffs up my units, so it's fine. Or every resummon of the weapon buffs up my units. Let's do this. Go for an attack like this. It's fine if the opponent trades into my units. Let's just keep cheapening our cards as well. Next turn I can go for an Aatrox, but it's not necessary. I'll do it just so I can generate the spell. Let's attack with the these two.
From within.
Keep reducing the cost of my cards.
The balance.
And we buff up that thing.
I forget the names of my kin.
Let's summon an Ornn. Ornn is going to capture the Deathless unit, the Rastin. Next turn we can go for an attack with Ornn too. So that's going to be huge.
A good fight's the spice of life. Garlic works in a pinch.
I can play Aatrox's spell here. I can also just go for the World Ender here. I'm going to go for the World Ender here. Because that sets up so next turn we attack with 4 units. And hopefully we kill the opponent's Nexus. Wait, since then does this work like this? I thought when the Darkins died in their minion or a follower form, they just were permanently dead, they didn't return to your hand. Is that how it works? Did it always work like that? In case you haven't realized, I haven't played Aatrox at all, even in PvP. I thought for sure when the weapons died as, well, weapons, or as followers, they just were gone forever. Or is it something that's a special property from the leveled up Aatrox or one of his powers? I'm not sure. Anyway, we have a decision to make here. When I'm summoned, grant allies that share a subtype with me +2/+2. Nah. And all of the other ones are terrible as well. Let's reroll. Darkin fan. Well, it's a Darkin, so sure. Champion item chest or a shop. We are doing fairly decent with our units, without even relying all that much on our champions. So maybe going for the shop is the correct choice. But this is an epic champion item chest. Yeah, let's go for the item chest. Heavy hands, Thieves' Gloves grant me 2 random items to a max of 3. I'm not sure how Thieves' Gloves works, but from what I've seen from the internet is that they're extremely bugged right now, so I'm not going to pick them up. Heavy hands, I guess. And then for the card cut, I'm tempted to cut the combat cook, honestly. He hasn't really been doing much for us, even though it's basically free. Now let's cut the Utter Devastation. Utter Devastation is just very slow, and it's very expensive. At least the combat cook is something that I can play to generate a blocker at the start of the game. Definitely would like some cheap followers, maybe something that some followers that replace themselves when they're summoned to play at the start of the game. Attacking here is going to cause the Shyvana to level up. Never mind, I don't get to attack here, and Shyvana gets to level up. Well, at least I can still play my other Darkin Spear here. So slowly we're going to build up a board. Let's drop on the Forsaken Bakai. Furious Wielder, I guess. At the top of the deck, so we can remove something next turn. He's passing the turn. I'll take it. He wants to pass the turn, I'll take it. It could be better for me, but it could be worse. Significantly worse, in fact.
Again, Yesenia. Again.
Last breath, revive me. I can't let that go through, unfortunately. If the opponent gets double rallies off of that, it would be the end of the game for me. Let's see if the opponent decides to attack into me or not. It does. Well, this is actually better for me than it is for him. Because now I can just do this and I attack with both of my units for free. All because he decided to soften up his own unit. Yeah, sure. Next turn I can either go for Aatrox or something else. Actually, I'm going to go for Aatrox.
There is nothing like that pain.
Because I am in fact safe. Because I can use never mind. I was about to say I can use the Furious Wielder to protect the Aatrox, but I forgot that he could just give Shyvana Challenger and it would amount to nothing.
Plenty to go round.
Well, I'm taking 4. And the opponent's going to kill my combat cook. Wait, that accomplishes nothing. Well, whatever the opponent decides to do, I guess. Can I play any of my Darkin? Because I could sure use some units on board. No, I can't. I can go for the Violent Discord though. That's going to generate some units. Now I have hosts for this Darkin. This one, and this one. Nice. Oh, I can even attack with this unit. The Forsaken Bakai. Next turn, or now, I guess. I can either go for Aatrox or Ornn. Ornn gets us closer to victory. Because we can just go Ornn. Ornn gets a bunch of stats and then we attack with all of my units.
Fighting is my first language. Here comes my molten friend.
Yep. And game over. Never mind, the opponent survives with 1 HP. Well, in that case, let's just drop down the Aatrox. And we're going to go for the Worldlander to level up the Aatrox. And next turn, we can close out the game.
Oblivion! Darkin, awaken!
Those are some large Darkins. Well, these two not so much, but the Nakas are very large. I did play them a bunch of times. Let's hold back on those two. No, I wanted Ornn to proc his effect. But the opponent, even the opponent gave up. He knew that the game was over for him. I'm definitely going a lot further than I anticipated. I thought by by Shyvana, I would have already died. Turns out I haven't. +1/+1 and I am a dragon or Titan's belt. Quick strike blade is definitely not the correct choice. That compromises Aatrox way too much. Now we're going to get to the real challenges. Rice-bound pulls the combat cook. Nope. Reduce the cost of your 5+ cost cards in hand by 1. Explosive entrance. Let's go down in H. It kind of works to our favor. It might even work with, on the Darkin. I'm not sure. I have absolutely no idea how any of this works anymore. Now that I've learned that the Darkin just can return to hand when they die. Because I thought it was a special property of the... what's her name? The Shurima Darkin. I thought it was a special property on her that allowed her to... or on her Darkin Polar form. I thought it was the line of text on the last breath that allowed her to return to hand. But maybe I'm wrong. Anyway. We have stuff to play here. Let's go Steadfast Elkin. The opponent's... I was worried the opponent was going to remove my units right away, but maybe I was worried for no reason. It's possible that this board is just not threatening enough for the opponent to commit any sort of removal to it. But I wouldn't think about it. Normally they're very trigger happy with their removal. Yeah, let's buff up the Blooming Cultist because it's a elusive unit. Like this. Ouch. That hurts a lot more than I wanted it to. We are going to be able to restore some health here. And next turn I fully intend to go for Aatrox right away. In order to restore even more health. But if the opponent has another piece of instant removal, I get screwed. Or another one of those, what's it called? Divine Drafts, yeah.
Forest hides friend and foe alike.
Damn, that's a lot of Aatroxes. I'm going to do this just to remove a unit. And that denies the Chemtex Dragon Soul. Let's buff up this guy. Let's Darken Spear this guy. And now we attack with everything.
All tuned up. Try now.
We're getting our health back, slowly but surely. What's the opponent going to do? That kills me. Yep, that kills me. Yep, the opponent got lucky and drew all of his burn. And I didn't manage to heal myself back up to full. Or not to full, but out of range. I suppose that's what I get for... I don't even know. Anyway, we can try again. That's the upside. Definitely want to keep this hand. The Keeper of the Boxes and the Dark Infant are crucial, I think, in order to stay alive through the lifesteal. Let's drop down the Keeper of the Box first.
Things lay inside.
That's fine. Let's start off by buffing up the Darkened Staff. Now we can attack.
Shadow and misery.
Okay. Next turn we can go for a Norn.
Fresh start. Just looking for a sign.
Do I want to go for a Norn, however? Probably. It captures the Cloud Drake. I have to go for the Ornn, don't I? I would like to copy that thing, but I suppose I'll copy
This is
the
what good looks like.
other Darkin instead. The Aegis. I would prefer the staff. Really? Nothing. Let's drop on the staff here. Okay, now he commits a unit. Still going to attack with the Ornn here. He is going to kill anything the opponent tries to block it with. Or he can just not block the Ornn at all. That's also a choice.
Sounds like we have a problem.
Shadow. You
Yeah.
will see. Into
Let's minimize the amount of damage I take. I don't want to die to double burn spell like last time around. Let's drop down the Blooming Cultist. Let's go for the Combat Cook.
Fighting good and cooking evil. Switch those.
Let's play the Darkin Fen on the Cultist. There's the Aatrox. Yeah, let's drop down the Aatrox. I was considering whether or not I should do it, but the fact that the Worldlander was probably extremely close to 0 cost was the deal breaker there. Now I just go for the Worldlander and attack with all of my units. First with the Scout though. Then with everything else. Like so. And I kill the opponent. Or maybe not. Maybe he draws the out. He didn't. Oh, that's a problem. I ended up using my only revive here. Considering how slow this deck is, I'm not liking my odds against the Elder Dragon. The Violent Discord, Bellows Breath, Osgar the Ancient. Nah, none of these are great. Mustn't steal the Xmas's Protection, Blooming Cultist with Farsight Alteration. Yeah, this has to be it. The Elusive is good. Scout on the Darkened Staff is huge. And for last card, Line Weight does nothing. Spellslinger, I guess. We don't really have a lot of spells, but whatever spells we do get are going to be cost reduced. I'm not trying my chances against Portia. Even though this fight is also extremely difficult. Extremely quote unquote. It's more like I'm not really seeing a way to beat this fight with this deck. At the very least I'll be able to go Blooming Cultist, Darkin Staff. That's fine. Oh, I would have been more worried if you actually went for the what's it called? The other guy, the Boadir of Blackened Ice. Sure. Let's attack twice. Not exactly what I wanted. I wanted to go for two units. At least that way I wouldn't have taken that much damage here. But I suppose I'll have to do this.
Wanted the god of the forge, you got him.
Do this. I take 20. Well, now the keeper of the box is free. Let's give it scout. See if the opponent takes the bait and yep, locks into it. That's actually better for me than it is for him. Taking the Darkin Fan. Yeah, sure. This is fine. If the opponent walks into it. All for the sake of discounting the cards in my hand.
Not even I know what I'm cooking up.
I know for a fact that as long as I can keep things stable, I'll be fine. There goes my healing option. I really wanted to use that to heal. I need to go for the Anaka.
A chill in the air.
Otherwise I'm screwed. I need to pull 2 units from my deck. That's nice. I'm going to be able to remove that thing at least. It would be nice if I could get a Aatrox anytime soon. See, those two, the Anakas, didn't return to my hand there. Why? Why did it work like that? I'm pretty sure I die here. Maybe I can buff some units out of range. Nah. The opponent has a massive overwhelm unit there. And that one too. Now this blocks something. This blocks another unit. Invocation of Thunder, really? If I attack with Ornn, it goes up to 17. I needed to buff up this unit in order to be able to close out the game here.
First language.
If I attack here like this, forces the opponent to either block or die. Though most of the blocks are a lot more favorable for him than they are for me.
Again.
Yep, and he summons that thing back. I'm not sure how I could have done things, if I could have done things any different there in order to survive. Because I'm certain that if he attacked me, I would have died anyway. Oh, things started off so well too. And I ended up losing anyway. And this adventure is hard. So yeah, that will be it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Till then.